Hey guys, I warmly welcome you to my YouTube channel FebTV Sri Lanka. So today I'm going to discuss about background of business, which means the first lesson of grade 10 commerce. So I'm sorry for being late. So I had some things to do with my studies and I have to face for the A-level exam at this year. So I'm sorry for being late. So I'm going to discuss about this in a short period of time, so as a short note. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video, so make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel also. Let's get started. So as the first lesson we have to talk about the background of businesses. So let's two subtopics. We have two main subtopics. One would be basic concept about businesses. So under that we have to talk about business concept, business objectives, consumer needs and wants, manufacturing businesses, what are the manufacturing businesses, factors of production. So this will be a great to you, and end of the lesson you will definitely be able to write for about 80% of the questions that have been asked in the exam and that will be asking in your exam of the first term test of grade 10. So I hope you guys will watch this for the end, right? I'm very keen on teaching on you because I will definitely teach what I really know, right? So let's get started. So basic concepts of about businesses. Let's read first of all, right? When the social existence of human develops, individual needs are also wind gradually. That means when the existence of human develops. That means if you take about as an example, in era of Stone Age, they are like Vedas, right? They don't have proper clothes, right? They don't eat proper foods. They didn't eat proper foods. They didn't have proper clothes to wear, and their needs and their lifestyle is quite simple, right? And nowadays our lifestyles are a little bit complex because of this old technology and these technology related stuffs, but at that time it was very simple. So when the social existence of human develops, right, from that age, from the Stone Age to this age, right, for the 21st century, there is a hell a lot of vast development in our individuals existence, right? So individual needs also wind up gradually, right? It's also getting up, increases gradually. When the needs and wants are diversified, that means needs and wants are getting complex. It was difficult to produce all their needs and wants by themselves, right? So diversified means with the development of us, with the development of human, there will have so many needs and wants. So it was difficult, because of that it was difficult to produce all their needs and wants by themselves, right? If we take as an example, I can't produce my own t-shirt, right? I can't produce my own jeans to wear, right? So the because of these technology advancements, because of these human developments, individual needs are getting diversified and widen gradually. Because of that, because of these things, because of those things, because of a hell a lot of things, it was very difficult to produce all their needs, right? So for sure, right, I can't produce rice, right? I'm not a farmer, I'm still a student, so I won't be able to produce rice, or I won't be able to produce my own foods. So there are people for that purposes, for specific purposes, for sanitary purposes as well, for water generating, for electricity purposes. There are several employees. And so guys, I'm going to tell you is, we can't produce ourselves with our all wants, right? That means we can't produce all of them, right? We have to purchase, we have to exchange, right? So as a remedy to this problem, what the people did was, right, people started to produce a large quantity of goods that they could produce the best, right? People started producing goods and services, but what they could produce best. That means a farmer, if we take as an example, a farmer, if we think about, he is a farmer of wheat, he produces wheat or more, right? An excess amount of goods he creates, right? He created using his own knowledge, using his own power, using his own labor, he was able to create a lot of excess goods, and it exceeds his consumption also, right? Because of these things, right? So therefore an excess of goods was created for sure, right? If the farmer needs let's say 2 kilos of wheat per day, if he produces 100 kilos per day, that means there is a 98 kilos of excess, right? So the remaining amount is known as the excess of goods. So then then people exchange their goods with others to obtain other goods that they want. That means if we take as an example, um, let me express my as a farmer, right? I am a farmer and I met a cobbler. Then what the cobbler does is he produces pair of shoes as in an excess amount, exceeds his satisfaction, exceeds his needs and wants, right? So he has an extra pair of shoes, so I need it. Go there and ask, Machang, I have 5 kilos of wheat excess, so can we exchange with your pair of shoes, right? If he agrees with me, we can exchange, and I will be able to consume his pair of shoes, and definitely he will be able to consume my wheat, right? If we agrees with our exchangement. So this system of exchanging goods was known as the barter system. Even today no one produces all what he or she wants, right? So we don't produce our own things, right? Likewise, the exchanging of goods was known as the barter system. The farmer produces rice, the carpenter makes furniture, the teacher teaches, right? So this individual is either a producer or a consumer in different instances, right? Yeah, in the previous example what I was taken is if I am a farmer, so there was a cobbler also. So I am a producer of wheat and cobbler was a producer of shoes, right? So I exchange my excess amount with that cobbler and I obtain pair of shoes. So at the same time I became a consumer, right? So at the time of I exchange my excess amount of wheat with that cobbler for a pair of shoes, so I purchase a pair of shoes from him. So I became a consumer also, and I was a producer as well. So at the same time, individual is either producer or consumer, or different instances, right? According to that specific instance. So such producers and consumers fulfill their needs and wants through businesses, right? So businesses are the ones who plays a major role in any country, because businesses are the ones those who satisfy human needs and wants, those who fulfill human needs and wants, right? So yeah, this is an example for a barter system, because Janata Bhanda we only barter, right? And whether this is also right, good to good, yeah, this person offers a shirt and this person offers food, right? In that case you can see barter system, how does it happen. So our next subtopic would be basic concept. A business is an economic activity which manufactures or provides different goods and services in order to fulfill human needs. This is the definition for businesses. That means if you get a question in your exam as what is a business, you have to write down this. Will be definitely needed, because in first term you will be checked, and there will be a definite question like what is a business. So you have to write this, okay? A business is an economic activity. This is one of the key terms. Economic activity which manufactures or provides different goods and services in order to fulfill human needs, right? Economic activity will be one keyword, and which manufactures or provides different goods and services, and goods and services will be the second, and to fulfill human needs and want, it would be third. Okay, most of the firms are profit oriented, whereas some firms are not profit oriented. What that means, let's say in the grocery shop or a boutique shop in our village, they are profit oriented. What they expect end of the day is they need more profit. So they sell their goods to us, they need a profit. But there are some instances where the businesses are not profit oriented, they are social welfare businesses. They are like Lions Club, Red Cross Society. They are not profit oriented. And you might have heard definitely that NGOs, UNA, they are not profit oriented, but they are also classified as businesses because they fulfill human needs. As profit oriented businesses, especially most of the businesses in the government sector are driven by the social welfare motive. Yes, if we say railway department, railways, so trains are not profit oriented, they are definitely and 100% for social welfare. Their prices are also considerable and bearable. So if we take about Langam, that means CTB, red buses, so they are also non-profit oriented, that means social welfare. Most of the government sector businesses are social welfare because they are the ones who provides goods and services in order to fulfill needs and wants of poor people and people like us. So the private businesses are the ones who are really profit oriented. They don't think about common people, that means normal poor people. So government businesses play a major role in our economy. So let's get into next slide. So let's read. Even though a majority of private sector businesses are driven by profit motive, I have said this, some firms are also driven by welfare motive. Yeah, there may be private sector non-profit oriented businesses also. If you take an example, I mentioned it earlier, the Lions Club, right? So they are not profit oriented. It's is a club, and definitely it's for private sector, and they help the people, right? So due to the accelerating growth in information and communication technology, the world has become a global village through electronic media. Yeah, so if you watching this video also, you are able to watch this video because of this electronic media and because of this globalization concept, right? So because of this globalization concept, the whole world becomes a global village. And if you need to know what happens in America right now, you can, with a single click, you can google it and search, right? Any individual in any country is now consuming different goods produced in different countries in order to fulfill their needs and wants. It's like this, right? So have you heard about import and export things, right? Import means we purchase goods and services from other countries. Export means we send our goods to other countries. uh, the, there are so many import things to our country. uh, let's take an example as oil, right? So we need petrol and diesel to drive our vehicles to move. Petrol and diesel would be a major import product. So because of this globalization and because of this growth in information and communication technology, any individual in country, because of this information and communication technology advancements, any individual in any country can produce and can consume any goods in different countries in order to fulfill their needs and wants, like us. So we import kiripiti, milk powder, to Sri Lanka, and we import let's say and all the motor vehicles we import from mainly from Japan, America, likewise we import. So we are able to consume those goods because of this information and technology advancements, and we are able to import any good which produces from different countries. Business objectives. Let's talk about business objectives. What do you mean by objectives, right? As a consumer, your objective is to obtain a quality product at a reasonable price to satisfy a need. Okay, let me explain this about, right? So let me read it again. As a consumer, your objective is, our objective as we are consumers, not producers, right? As we are consumers, our objective is to obtain a quality product at a reasonable price, right? So if you go to a grocery shop or boutique shop in your village, so you will ask, auntie, can I have a turmeric, right? Turmeric is more important in these days because real turmeric we can't find, right? That is rare. Okay, so if you need a turmeric powder, 100-gram turmeric powder package, so you will ask aunt that, aunt, can I have 100 grams of turmeric powder? So if she gives you a low quality one, would you like it? Do you like to have a low quality one? So you are paying also, no? You will pay at least 200 rupees, 300 rupees. It may be 700 rupees also. If you pay more, so you need a quality product, right? At a reasonable price. The next one is, it should be reasonable. The price of the goods and services should be and must be reasonable. So our main objective is, as we are consumers, we should obtain a quality product. The quality must be there, quality should be there definitely, and at a reasonable price. It should be a reasonable price. If we have a toffee for 3 rupees, if the aunt of that grocery shop will say like this, Puta, this will get rupees, you have to pay for this rupees, let's say 20. So that's not reasonable. So always the price of the goods and services should be reasonable, as well as that goods and services should be quality products, right? So even business has a specific objective or set of objectives to be achieved, because the parties such as owners of a business, its managers, employees, we will talk about these stakeholders later, right? Definitely at the end of the lesson, later part of the lesson, we will discuss about this. Government and community expect different returns from a business, for sure, right? So as we are consumers, and let's take about government and customers, employees, they expect something from these businesses. Let's take about an example as manager. Managers are the ones who control or who take decisions towards business success. They are also humans, no? They, because they take decisions for us to success their businesses, or to success owners' businesses, because of something. They expect something from our businesses, right? They expect a salary, they will expect quality working setting, like that, right? So the following are the business objectives that can be seen in common businesses. So we are going to learn what are the specific business objectives that can be seen in common businesses. It may be a service oriented, it may be a product manufacturing businesses. Okay, these are common to any business organization. So first objective is earning profit. As a business, I have mentioned it earlier, there are two kinds of businesses. One is profit oriented and other one is social welfare, or in other words, non-profit oriented. But as a business, they need profit, right? They need profit to expand their business. They need profit to, as an owner, you and I, the everyone who is watching this video, if they start a business, their first and foremost objective will be for sure, definitely will be earning profit. Who the hell like to donate their goods and services for free? No one, right? We have seen some instances where donating free, but first of all they have to make profit, then only you can do donations and whatever this. But that social welfare businesses are different. But if we think about a common or specific objective of any business, we can take earning profits, right? Let's read. Profit earning objective is essential for a business because it has to pay a sufficient return to the owners for their investors' money. Hell yeah, right? So if I need to invest on a business, I definitely need profit, because my ultimate aim is to earn profit. The reason for investing my money to that business also would be earning profit, and that is the first and foremost and the most important business objective, right? So if we read it again, profit earning objective is essential for a business because it has to pay a sufficient return to the owners for their invested money. Okay. As the second one, increasing customer satisfaction. What that means? Let's read. The survival of a business depends on how it satisfies the needs and wants of its customers. Yes, right? So, if we think about a small business, if let's say a biscuit, so there is a company XYZ Limited, and what they do is they produce biscuits and they sell those products to us. So if we purchase a biscuit and if we figure it out that that biscuit is not tasty and it's not up to the quality, and I have earlier mentioned that our primary objective is, yes, as consumers and as customers, our primary objective would be a quality product at a reasonable price. If the businesses won't be able to do that, right? If business couldn't do that, if business couldn't produce a quality product at a reasonable price, they can't increase customer satisfaction. The only way of increasing customer satisfaction will be producing a quality product, and it should be sold, okay, it should be sold at a reasonable price. Then only all the businesses will be able to increase customer satisfaction. So let's move on. Yeah, this is also an important area, so let's read. And achieving the above objectives, businesses need to focus on sub-objectives. Some of them are discussed below. So these are the sub-objectives. That means to achieve that two main objectives, you definitely need to achieve these sub-objectives as well. Let's read first one. Increase in the quality of goods and services. Oh, sure, right? So as we are consumers and as we are customers, our main objective will be to purchase a product which has more quality, which is produced under high quality and at a reasonable price. To fulfill that thing, we have to increase the quality of goods and services. As we are businessmen, we shouldn't look at in our customer view of point. We should look this as we are business studies students, as we are learning business studies. So we should think on businessman's point view. So increasing the quality of goods and services would be a sub-objective to achieve that main two objectives. What are those? Let me remind you again. Earning profits and increasing customer satisfaction, right? So businesses intend to provide quality goods and services at a reasonable price as well as fulfill consumer needs and wants. For sure, right? They are definitely for fulfill consumer needs and wants. to fulfill consumer needs and wants in a fruitful manner, in a healthy manner, they will definitely need to increase the quality of goods and services, and that would be a sub-objectives of businesses, right? So if we take about the second one, generating employment opportunities, what is so why businesses need to generate employment opportunities? They need to make profit, no? Why they? Automatically what happens is that, right, if there is a business who produce quality goods and who provide them for a reasonable price, for sure they will make profit and they will be able to grow their business at a large scale. If we started, let's say, a cab service, right? Cab service is a service oriented service providing company. So if if that cab service started with one car, if they offer customers a quality service at a reasonable price, they will definitely make profit and they can expand their businesses. If we say, first of all, he had one car, now he has 10 cars, right? So that means you can see how they can expand their businesses because of satisfying human needs. And when expanding businesses, for definitely, earlier there was one driver because they have got one cab, then if now they got 10 cabs, for sure they need 10 drivers. So generating employment opportunities is an another sub objectives of businesses. Let's read it again. Another goal of the business is to generate different job opportunities. So employment, you might have heard about unemployment issues in the world, and as well as Sri Lanka also faces the same thing. So the solution would be starting businesses, right? So by starting businesses, they are one of the sub objectives is generating employment opportunities. Or indirectly, businesses directly, it should be directly, serves the community. Yes, businesses provide employment opportunities for the community, and they will be able to sustain their business, and they will be able to expand their business because of generating employment opportunities, right? So the third sub objective would be employee welfare, right? So providing various facilities in addition to wages to satisfy the employees is another objective of most of the businesses. What do you mean by that? Right? So providing various welfare facilities in addition to wages, right? So in addition to wages means like this. So if we read the second paragraph, yes, you will definitely understand, right? Food, accommodation facilities, transportation facilities. You might have seen there are buses to Sri Lankan Airlines, right? They transport their employees to the working place, and those that can be taken as one of the examples to employee welfare. So as a business they should do it, right? As a business, if they need to earn profit, if they need to satisfy human needs and wants, definitely there should be employee welfare as well, because employees are the key players of the organization, because they are the ones who uh, continues the business processes. They are the ones who, if we talk about a manufacturing company, they are the ones who manufacture goods and services. If they don't work in that company, we are unable to purchase goods and services, right? So as the third sub objective of businesses, employee welfare can be taken. If we read it again, those are the keywords. Remind this: providing various welfare facilities in addition to wages, right? So wages and salaries are definitely there, but in addition to wages and salaries are the addition, right? Then uh, that addition is the employee welfare. in addition to wages to satisfy the employees in another objective of most businesses. That means they can provide food, they can provide accommodation facilities. I have seen the advertisements that Pizza Hut recruit new employees, so they provide food, yes, 3 meals per day, and they provide accommodation, they provide hostels, and they provide transportation as well to the working place, and they provide medical facilities. If we take as an example, we can say providing that means working insurance. I don't know the exact word. වෘත්තීය රක්ෂණය කියලා කියන්නේ. So they can insure the people. So they can provide an insurance to people, those who are working in the manufacturing or service providing business. So those are known as employee welfare. So let's talk about our next. So let's move on. So next we have to discuss consumer needs and wants. So needs. Earlier in several times I mentioned the word needs and wants. In several occasions when I was explaining about the businesses, about the humans, about the objectives of businesses, I used needs and wants, those two words in several times. So need. So need. What is a need? So let's talk about what is a need. So human needs are requirements that must be fulfilled essentially for existence. That means if we need to live, right? If we need to live, if we need to exist, the needs are the requirements that must be fulfilled essentially. Those are very important. Importantly, for sure, fundamentally, we need needs for existence. So if you guys will definitely, you will guys have a question for the first term test of grade 10, that please tell what do you mean by needs and what is need, what are needs, right? What is the explanation for needs? So you guys have to write the answer. If you provide this sentence as the answer for that question, you will be definitely given marks, right? So food, clothing and shelter are considered as the basic human needs. When this yes, food, clothing and shelter, right? Food means I don't have to explain. Clothing and shelter means our homes. Shelter can be anything. So if we have a flat, and that is also shelter. If we have a home, normal home, with 1 floor, 2 floor, there may be 3 to 4 floors. And if it is a shanty, even if it is let's say a hollow of tree, and those all are commonly called as shelter. So when the society develops, education, health and security, transportation, communication and entertainment are also recognized as human needs. So when the society develops, I have mentioned it that in the first slide, that when the society develops, it gets diversified. Yeah, the needs are getting diversified. Needs gets diversified. That means diversified means getting so complex, right? So getting so complex because of this society develops, education, health, security, transportation, communication and entertainment, in addition to basic human needs. That means in addition to food, clothing and shelter, the other secondary needs, if we take as an example, let's just say education, health and security, transportation, communication and entertainment are also recognized as human needs. Okay, so human needs, psychological needs, this is a mental matrix, so you don't have to memorize this whole needs, because you are not given, you will be definitely not given this in your exam. I put this for for a change, right? So air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, yeah. Those are the psychological needs. Those are needs, and this is also needs, and friendship, intimacy. Those are needs are getting a little bit complex when we move on to the top, right? So these are the needs: air, food, water. Food, water, shelter. These are the basic three needs, and for fundamental need would be the air, right? This is also can be classified under the basic needs, and clothes, water, shelter, clothes, and safety, love, esteem, self-expression, and education, health. Yeah, right. Those are mass needs. So this is a hierarchy, liberal explanation, characteristics of need. So characteristics of need. So let's say being essential. This is important. This is for sure we need, right? This is essential. Definitely we need needs for our existence. So it is essential to fulfill needs for existence. If we need to live, we must fulfill the needs, right? Being common. These needs are being common. So if we take about me and you, the students who are watching this, so if I need education and it is my need, so you also need education and it will be definitely your need also, right? Likewise, so I need help, and that means I have fever, I have to meet a doctor and take necessary medical and precautions. So you also will be definitely those things. That means they are common. So if you need to live, you need to eat and you need to have food. So I also the same. So if I need to live, yeah, definitely I also have food. So cannot be created. What does that mean? So let's read. If read this, you will understand. Needs will arise naturally and hence cannot be created by businessmen. Yes, in the first slide and the previous slides, we have talked about the needs are getting diversified because of development human, right? Because of this development of human, needs arise automatically or naturally. They cannot be created by someone. The needs are getting being complex, and uh, day by day there may be few needs, but they cannot be created. Needs are very little at being limited. We will talk about that later. So needs will arise naturally, cannot be created by businessmen, and that is also an important characteristic of needs. So being limited, what do you mean by that? Needs are relatively very low in number, but if we compare it with wants, wants are really unlimited. We can't even count on them, right? Millions, billions of wants will be there. So let's go. Consumer needs and wants. Under that, we are going to talk about wants. Wants are different ways of satisfying needs. Yes, needs are the fundamental things to be fulfilled to live, right? For the existence. So wants are the different ways of satisfying needs. There should be way. There should be a way to satisfy needs. So satisfy a specific need. If we say education as an example, if our need is education, there should be a specific way to satisfy or to fulfill that need. So one way of fulfilling that need is obtaining school education. That's why we are going to schools, right? So want will be a school education, and want can be then there is another one, right? Tuitions, the hampasas, like that, temple school. So many ways of satisfying that specific need named education. A single need can be satisfied in different ways. So I have told you. So if you need to get education, so as a need we need education. So there are several ways of fulfilling that specific need. One is school education, and we have tuition classes. So we have temple education and Sunday temple. Likewise, we have so many ways of fulfilling one need. That's why that's why they say a single need can be satisfied in different ways. So for example, needs wants will be there. Food, and if we take the food as the need, wants will be string hoppers, ice cream, cake. Clothes, if we take clothes as the need, saris and uniforms will be wants. So I hope you guys understand this. So you will be definitely given a question like this: compare the needs and wants like this. So these are the examples for some needs and wants, right? Yeah, these are wants, right? Tuition, school supplies, internet, these are wants. So characteristics of wants. Earlier we discussed characteristics of needs, right? So you are given like this in your exam. Definitely you will be given a question like this: compare the characteristics of needs and wants. So in that case you have to use a table. You should be able to compare the characteristics of needs with the characteristics of wants. Let's say as an example, let's take a characteristics of one of the characteristics of needs as essential, right? For the existence, needs are essential. So you have to write opposite of cage, that means under the wants, not essential. In that case, if we take about the second one as can be created as in wants, so if you write cannot be created on need side, you have to definitely write can be created, right, as the opposite characteristic of wants for the next word side. So you have to compare it, right? So there will be a question like in that. So let's talk about not essential. Wants are not compulsory for the living existence. That means there may be several of ways of fulfilling need. That means if we need food, we can have string hovers, kottu, appa, and there are rice, noodles, a lot of wants, a lot of ways of fulfilling that specific need of food. So it is not essential. Yeah, that means we don't need rice, right? We don't need rice to live, but we need food to live, right? In that case, not essential will be the first characteristics of want. And being diverse, what does that mean? Being diverse means these wants can be different from each another. If you take an example, if clothes, I like to wear shirts. Normally, I like to wear shirts than t-shirts, but there may be a Malli or Ayya. He likes to wear t-shirts, not shirts. Likewise, being diverse. We take another example, right? I like to eat kottu, so to satisfy my food need of food, I like to have kottu. But another guy, there may be some guys who don't like to eat kottu. They like to eat fried rice. Likewise, the wants are diversified for each other. Can be created. Wants definitely can be created by human businessmen. So needs are cannot be created. Needs cannot be created. It grows or it generated. It is generated naturally, but wants can be created. So being complex is also like that. So we can't understand everyone's wants, and being unlimited will be the next one. So next characteristic would be being unlimited. So when I was explaining about needs, I said that we can count from our fingertips. Needs are that much of limited, so we can use our fingers to count on, right? So but the wants are very unlimited. I compared it when I was explaining the needs also. So needs are, there may be millions and billions needs which are really uncountable. Yeah, that's the word that we should use when we should use being unlimited. That means uncountable. There may be millions and billions of wants which no one can ever count, right? No one can ever finish counting. So let's move on. So here earlier mentioned ones. So I have earlier also I explained about these things. So legs, clarify those things a little bit more. Non-essential for existence, it is not essential to fulfill a want as a need, as the need could be satisfied by another similar want instead. Likewise, yeah, I have taken the example food. If I need to fulfill the need of food by using a kotturodi as my want, so you don't have to use the same want, right? You don't have to eat the same. You don't have to eat the kottu, right? To satisfy your want, to satisfy your need of food from kottu can be changed, right? Likewise, being diverse, even though the needs are common to any individual, the way they satisfy them differs depending on their socio-economic condition. Yeah, if we take about example transportation. Transportation is also a secondary need, and we can classify transportation is also a need. But if we think about fulfilling the need of transportation, if I have a private car, if I have a motor car, so I can use that for transportation. But there may be people those don't have cars, don't have their own motor vehicles, so they can use private buses. So they can either use private buses or train for their transportation. Likewise, wants are diverse and can be created. Businessmen can create wants for sure. Yeah, there are two apps named Uber and Pygmy. Those are the giants of Sri Lanka for transportation. So if we have a smartphone, we can just from one tap we can book a Uber and go wherever we want. Right? In that manner, businessman can create any wants. So characteristics of wants. Under that, let me talk about the final two characteristics. Being complex. Due to being unlimited and diverse, fulfillment of wants are also complex. Yes, for sure, because of we have unlimited human needs and wants, and the limited resources we have limited, right? So resources are limited, but even though we have got unlimited needs and wants, so due to being unlimited and diverse, fulfillment of wants are also complex. So we can't understand each other one's wants, right? So if I need a kottu as a want and you need a fried rice as a want, so how do we compare and how do we tell that so what we can't ask and we can't argue you don't like to eat kottu, right? So it is complex. So likewise, it is so complex, and it also can be taken as a characteristic of wants. So being unlimited, there are different wants that can be used to fulfill a single need. So I have explained, and I explained this for several times in the video, so you can rewind and watch if you like. So let's move on, bro. Okay guys, we came up to the last slide of this part, so I have to continue this. So because we have to continue, because of the limiting time, I will put another video of covering this one, that means stakeholders of businesses in 1.2 subtopic. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. So if you like, for definitely if you have a question, please put a comment. I will definitely answer your question, and hope you guys will like my videos, and hope you guys will subscribe to my YouTube channel and enjoy.